What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. Man, oh man. The effects, the pound for pound king, the 5-division world champion, the 3-division undisputed world champion, superstar boxer, Terence Bud Crawford, has on the sport of boxing the unspoken effect, the unseen effect, right? You can't really see it, but he has a massive effect on the sport of boxing in the shadows. What Terence Crawford did against Saul Canelo Alvarez absolutely destroyed the notion or the possibility, voluntarily possibility, of Vergil Ortiz fighting Jaron Ennis. It's called the Terence Crawford effect. We got to start naming it. It's the Terence Crawford effect. What Terence Crawford did to Saul Canelo Alvarez, essentially moving up 3 weight classes, technically 2, and dominating Canelo Alvarez and snatching that mantle on Mexican Independence Day weekend, has ruined the interest or the pulse of Team Vergil Ortiz eagerness to fight Jaron Ennis, because they want to build up the next Mexican face and superstar of the sport of boxing. And they believe they have that in the 24-win, no loss, no draw, 22-win by way of knockout, Vergil Ortiz Jr., who's only 27 years of age. They believe they have that in him. They believe they could build that up in him, right? But what they saw from Terence Crawford against Canelo Alvarez, they know Jaron Ennis ain't Erickson Lubin. They know that. They know that Jaron Ennis skill set, it draws a lot of comparisons to that of Terence Crawford. They know that skill set, ability. Jaron Ennis is 35 wins, no loss, no draw, 31 wins by way of knockout. He's bigger than what they thought he was when they went face to face. Now, obviously, Vergil was in fighting shape. Jaron Ennis is not. Jaron is bigger because he's in between fights. And Vergil was fighting, and then Jaron Ennis had on shoes, and Vergil had on boxing shoes. So the size disparity is going to look a lot bigger than what it actually is. He's bigger, but it's looked a lot bigger. Jaron Ennis' ability to switch from southpaw to orthodox. Jaron Ennis' ability to box on the inside and box on the outside if he so chooses, and stay elusive like he did Roman Villa. If you think that those flashes of what Terence Crawford did to Canelo Alvarez, all the excuses, they can have all the excuses in the world, and they could tell you how Canelo Alvarez was a shot fighter. He was no longer the same guy. He's a shell of himself. He had injuries. He had X, Y, and Z. They could tell you that until they blew in the face. The reality is they know that matchup, the skill set, the style matchup is a bad style matchup. And they know that it's a bad style matchup because Jaron Ennis is 5'10", 5'10 and a half, with a 74-inch arm reach and can switch from southpaw to orthodox. He's arguably the most athletic. No, I'm going to say he is the most athletic fighter in boxing right now. Hand speed, foot speed, just fluid movement, reaction time, right? They see that. You best believe they understand that. And they look at that situation and they like, Vergil's 5'10", 70-inch arm reach. They know Jaron Ennis ain't Erickson the Hammer Lubin. He was supposed to be a test, Lubin was, who's about 5'11", 74 inch arm reach, southpaw, right? Some of the traits that Jaron Ennis have, they know for a fact. They know Vergil. Vergil as a competitor wants to fight. Vergil's daddy, Vergil's Ortiz Sr., Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya, as I said in my stream, Oscar De La Hoya is very, very smart. Oscar De La Hoya is very, very understanding of talent and matchmaking. He understands very well. He know when he faced the likes of Floyd and Pernell Whitaker, he know what that represented, what that did. He understands very well, Oscar De La Hoya, certain styles, and I'm just going to say it, the black African-American styles, especially at their best, at their highest, right? Not on the way down, not shot fighters, not punchy like Erickson Lubin. Punch resistance wasn't there, and then he fought a bad game plan. Oscar De La Hoya is very aware of that. And they know that Jaron Boots Ennis, see, they done talked themselves. They didn't think that Jaron Ennis would show up to the fight and be ringside. They was praying that Vergil didn't call him in the ring, but Vergil did, right? And they know that, listen, we done messed up, right? It was all, he called their bluff. Jaron Ennis called their bluff. And now they trying their best to put Vergil in the best position possible to be successful, but still have a big name in a big fight. He has never, you guys got to understand something. Vergil Ortiz gets a lot of praise, right? A lot of hype. He has never fought for a world title. So obviously he's never been a world champion. And if he gets in there and loses, Jaron Ennis finally became the unified champion. He IBF, WBA, Ring Magazine champion at welterweight. He achieved that. He didn't achieve everything he wanted to achieve at 147, but he achieved a lot, right? He got halfway there. They know Jaron Ennis gets in there and dominates and beats Vergil, he will never reach the heights that they want him to reach. Now, I'm not saying he can't bounce back, because he'll bounce back. He'll bounce back. He'll possibly become a world champion. He's a competitor, right? But he'll never reach the status of a Canelo Alvarez and the Mexican great they want him to reach. He'll never reach that status. I don't believe he'll ever be Oscar De La Hoya or Canelo Alvarez to begin with. But they want him to come as close as possible, right? He'll never reach that status. He'll never reach the Juan Manuel Marquez status. Now, maybe he can attempt to get to their level, Marquez, Barrera, Morales, right? He'll be more like Barrera, Marco Antonio Barrera. He'll reach that type of status. Juan Manuel Marquez surpassed him. Canelo Alvarez, as the draw he is, he'll never reach that status. He gets in there and loses to Jaron Ennis, and especially the way he loses to Jaron Ennis, because there's a strong possibility he gets absolutely dominated by Jaron Boots Ennis. He is flat-footed, right? He is aggressive, yes. He makes mistakes. His hands are slow, his feet are slow, and he's susceptible to getting dropped. We've seen him get hurt. He got dropped twice by Sarai Boachuk. I thought he lost. He was getting outboxed by Israel Madrimov in the first quarter of that fight, and then Madrimov just faded off. You watch the first half of that fight, right? He got rocked by Igor Kavalauskas, the mean machine, right? There's holes, and they know there's holes, glaring holes, and they know Jaron Ennis can exploit every one of those holes in the worst way possible. And they can't have the two Mexican fight, the Mexican fighter up here in Canelo get dominated. They made excuses. Now the Mexican fighter on the way up get dominated. They can't have that. See, then now they got to rely on David Benavidez. And the thing with David Benavidez is he's kind of in no man's land as far as opposition. Now, he could get the Artur Beterbiev fight, the Dimitri Bivol fight. Those are two big fights for him, right? He could win those fights. He could possibly then move to cruiserweight. He could become undisputed there. He'll be a 2-division champion, go to cruiserweight, get a Zurdo fight or Ja Opataya fight. Those are not, they are big names to us in the sport of boxing. They're not going to help him cross over. Those names are not going to help David Benavidez cross over into the superstar, the cash cow like a Canelo Alvarez or Vergil could. Vergil could do that because of the weight class he's in and the names that surrounded him, right? Matched correctly. He can start to build up that pay-per-view, big, drawn, selling power name, right? Right now, to be truthful, Vergil's fan base is not as big as Isaac Pitbull Cruz. If it is about equal, that's the truth. They don't want back-to-back Canelo in September and then Vergil now in March or so. They can't have that. They don't want it. They trying to wiggle out of it. The problem is they done talked themselves into a corner. Accepting the fight on 2 separate occasions, like y'all said, they accepted the fight on 2 separate occasions. And now the zone and Turkey Al-Sheikh, His Excellency, is like, all right, now's the time. Jaron Ennis is ready. Now's the time, right? And if you don't have a name, see, it'll be justified if it was Sebastian Fundora for that, the Towering Inferno. See, he can't carry the mantle, the torch, because he got brutally knocked out. He a solid fighter and the world champion, but he got brutally knocked out. He ain't gonna never carry that torch. What he is because of his size, he's kind of somewhat of a sideshow, right? He can't carry the torch. Vergil got the ability, and Vergil, they know they cannot put Vergil in there and he get dominated. They cannot and don't want that. They don't want that. I'm telling you. And now Jaron Ennis is like, I'm here. He never won a world title. He get dominated by Jaron Ennis. It's hard to sell him, man. Hard to sell him. They know what it is. And after they seen what Terence Crawford did, they like, we can't have this again. No, sir. No, sir. Remember, same thing with Canelo with Terence Crawford. Oh, this, and he was doing this. He didn't want to fight. Terence Crawford too small. I'm going to knock him out. And now they giving Vergil. See, Vergil trying to go for a style matchup that's more suitable to his skill set. That's why he's looking at the Errol Spence fight. Errol Spence been out the ring for 2 years. Errol Spence, 2.5 years. Errol Spence coming off a bad loss to Terence Crawford. Errol Spence has had, the car accident, 2 eye surgeries. It just in a bad way, right? Physically, we don't know what we're getting from Errol Spence. And Errol Spence style, he's a southpaw, but Errol Spence is a flat-footed fighter and a come-forward fighter. He fights in the pocket. He gonna give Vergil opportunities. Errol Spence not gonna outbox Vergil. He can, but that's not who he is. He outboxed Mikey Garcia. He can be a boxer like he did Danny Garcia when you flat-footed, but Errol is more of an aggressive, come-forward fighter, flat-footed fighter. They call him the Black Mexican. They like that style matchup, especially with the time layoff, and he's a big name. He's a big draw. They could sell Vergil at Dallas Cowboy Stadium. That'll boost Vergil's status, right? And then from there, Vergil will fight Sebastian Fundora for the title should Sebastian Fundora beat Keith Thurman. That's the route they want to go. That builds up Vergil's name. Jaron Ennis does not. So they know Jaron Ennis is going to get them a bag, right? But they know they could get a bag and they could get a better style matchup with Errol Spence. They could get the bag and a better style matchup. And Errol Spence is a more high-profile fighter, right? And it's a better style matchup. That's why. See, they can build off of, we beat Errol Spence. We sold out AT&T Stadium. See, Errol Spence is going to carry majority of that load at AT&T Stadium. Or we beat Errol Spence. We sold out AT&T Stadium. Now they'll do Sebastian Fundora at AT&T Stadium for Vergil's first world title, and they're gonna promote him as this big star. If Vergil fought against Errol Spence, he ain't fighting Jaron Ennis next. This is the Terence Crawford effect. They don't want that to stop this train, period. But let me know what y'all think, man. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, or one word, it's your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Peace.